My boyfriend told me he wanted to marry me. Then I found out he had been browsing dating profiles again. He said it meant nothing. I said, "Then why did you hide it?" He answered, "Because I knew you would make it into something." That was the moment I stopped asking whether he loved me. I started asking whether love without trust was enough. I am 27. My boyfriend, Noah, is 30. We had been together for almost 3 years. For most of that time, he was affectionate. He remembered little things. He knew my coffee order. He fixed things around my apartment. He talked about a house, kids, marriage. His mother loved me. His friends treated me like I was already permanent. On paper, we looked serious. In reality, our relationship had become a cycle of promises, disappointment, and repair. Noah was good at making the future sound real. He would say, "When we have a place together," or "when we have kids," or "when we are married." But the present was much less impressive. I planned most dates. I was usually the one asking when we would see each other. He often chose the easiest version of time together. Takeout, my apartment, sex, sleep, then back to normal life. I did not need expensive dates. I wanted effort, something that showed he had thought about me before I arrived. When I brought this up, Noah usually said the same thing. "I am trying to get settled first." He had changed jobs twice. Money was inconsistent. He said once things stabilized, he would be able to give me more. I tried to believe that, but he still found money for nights out with friends, new electronics, weekend trips. He was not irresponsible exactly. He just seemed more willing to spend energy on things he wanted immediately. With me, everything meaningful was always coming later. The first serious trust problem happened a year into our relationship. We had an argument over something small. "I do not even remember what started it," Noah said. "Maybe we should just end this." I was shocked. 2 hours later, he called and said he did not mean it. He said he had been angry. I forgave him. Then it happened again months later. Another argument. Another breakup sentence. Another apology. Every time I stayed. Every time, he promised not to use the relationship itself as a weapon during fights. But I never forgot those moments. After that, silence felt different. If he took longer to reply, I wondered if he was pulling away. If he seemed distant, I wondered if he was preparing to leave. If he said he needed space, I heard rejection. That made me more anxious. My anxiety made him feel watched. That made him withdraw more. We started creating the exact relationship both of us were afraid of. My best friend, Maya, hated the pattern. She said, "You cannot keep rebuilding the same house after he burns one room every argument." I told her Noah was not cruel. He was not. Most of the time, he was gentle. That made it harder. There was no single terrible version of him I could point to. There was the man who grew herbs on his balcony because I liked fresh basil. The man who drove across town when my tire went flat. The man who once sat with me for 6 hours after my father went into the hospital. And there was also the man who said things he could not take back when he felt cornered. Both were real. Then I found the dating app. Not because I was searching. I was using Noah's tablet while mine was charging. A notification appeared. A dating app I recognized immediately. I opened it. I know people will judge that. Fine. The profile was active. Recent photos. A short bio. No obvious conversations. No plans to meet anyone. But he had been swiping. When Noah came home, I asked him directly, "Why do you have an active dating profile?" He froze. Then he said, "I was bored." I asked, "Bored with what?" He said, "Not you. Just bored." I said, People in relationships do not usually browse replacements for entertainment. He said I was being dramatic. Then he said the part that hurt most. It is like looking at houses you are never going to buy. I said, I am not a house. He said that was not what he meant. I asked why he hid it. He said, because I knew you would react exactly like this. There it was again. He did something he knew would hurt me. Then, my reaction became the reason I should not have known. I did not break up with him. I wish I could say I did. Instead, I started checking his phone, his online status, his location sometimes. I hated myself for it. I did not find evidence of cheating. That almost made things worse, because there was nothing clear enough to leave over, just enough uncertainty to keep me constantly alert. At the same time, my friendships started changing. Maya and another close friend, Claire, complained that they barely saw me anymore. They were right. I had been working full-time and taking evening classes. I was tired. And yes, some of my remaining free time went to Noah. They said I was prioritizing him. I said I was just busy. Maya said, "You are spending the little energy you have trying to keep a relationship stable." I got defensive, because again, she was not completely wrong. Then came the argument that changed everything. My birthday was on a Saturday. Noah had promised to plan something. I deliberately did not remind him. By noon, nothing had happened. At 2, he asked what I wanted to do. I said, "I thought you were planning it." He looked confused, then said, "I thought we would figure it out together." I laughed, not because it was funny, because I had spent years explaining that the thing I wanted was initiative. I told him I did not care where we went. I cared that he had thought about me before the day arrived. He got defensive. He said, "Nothing I do is enough." I said, "That is not true." He said, "You always want some performance." I said, "Planning dinner is not a performance." He said, "I tell you all the time that I love you." I answered, "I know what you say. I am asking what you do when nobody reminds you." That evening, he bought flowers. He booked a restaurant. He apologized. I should have felt better. Instead, I felt sad, because I had once again received effort, only after asking for effort. A week later, Maya and I had coffee. She said something I initially hated. She said, "I think you are treating every good moment like proof the relationship is healthy, and every bad moment like an exception." I told her every relationship has problems. She agreed. Then she asked, "What if the pattern is the relationship?" That stayed with me. The reinterpretation came from Noah himself. A few nights later, we had the calmest conversation we had had in months. He admitted he knew he was inconsistent. He said he wanted marriage. He wanted children. He wanted me. But he also admitted that the idea of permanence scared him. His parents had divorced badly when he was 13. His father moved out suddenly. His mother spent years telling him never to depend too much on anyone. Noah said whenever our relationship felt serious, part of him wanted an exit. Not because he actually wanted someone else, because knowing an exit existed made commitment feel less dangerous. The dating app suddenly made more sense. So did the breakup threats. So did the future promises. He wanted closeness. Then closeness scared him. So he created distance. When the distance scared me, I chased reassurance. That made him feel trapped. Then he pulled away again. It was not a plan. It was a pattern. For the first time, I felt real sympathy instead of just anger. But understanding the reason did not remove the damage. I said, "I believe you love me." He started crying. Then I said, I do not know if I believe you are capable of making me feel safe. He asked what I wanted. I told him I did not want access to his phone. I did not want passwords. I did not want him proving where he was. I said, I want a relationship where I do not feel like I need those things. He asked if I was leaving. I said I did not know. Update 1. We took 3 weeks apart, not broken up, not seeing other people, just space. I spent more time with Maya and Claire. I realized how much of my life had become organized around Noah's moods. If things were good with him, I relaxed. If he was distant, everything else became background. That was not healthy. I had made his reassurance too important. Noah started therapy. His idea, not mine. That mattered. He also deleted the dating account in front of me. I told him deleting the app was easy. The harder part was understanding why he had needed it. He agreed. Update 2. We are still together, but I moved more slowly than Noah wanted. He asked about moving in together. I said no. He looked hurt. I told him, I am not punishing you. I am waiting to see whether the present starts matching the future you keep describing. That was hard for him to hear, but he accepted it. For the last 2 months, he has been more consistent. He plans things. He does not threaten the relationship during arguments. When he needs space, he says that without turning it into rejection. I am trying to stop treating every delay in a text as danger. We are both doing better. I still do not know if better is enough. That is the part nobody can answer for me. If someone finally starts changing after years of hurting you in the same way, how long do you owe the new version a chance? And how much of the old version are you allowed to remember? I used to think trust meant believing someone would never hurt you. Now, I think trust might be believing they will not keep choosing the same hurt once they understand it. I am not there yet, but for the first time, I know what I am waiting to see. Not another promise, a pattern,